Hi, everyone. This is Amy at Oak Tree Insurance Agency. I'm here with one of our underwriters, a work comp underwriter, here to answer some questions for us about work comp. The first question we have is, what is a work comp and why is it important for businesses to have?
Amy, businesses are statutorily liable for injuries that occur to employees while on the job. So a work comp policy will protect the business by satisfying that liability.
Very good. Yeah, I mean, people just don't understand that it is required. If you have employees, you are supposed to have it. So,
Yes.
what kind of benefits are provided under a work comp policy?
Injured employees will be paid for their time off. This is 70% of the average weekly wage, and their medical bills are paid. Work comp would also provide rehabilitation should they not be able to continue doing their current job. So like if they were in construction, fell off a roof, injured themselves, couldn't walk, was wheelchair bound, then they will help with rehabilitation for you to find another job.
Okay, and what about, do they offer like training for a different skill since you won't be able to return to the job that you know how to do?
Yeah, that would be part of the rehabilitation option.
Okay. What about if something terrible happened and someone died in an accident at work? Do they pay out a certain amount, or if they have kids, do they pay out until those kids are a certain age? How does that work?
There is a death benefit.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on the exact amount.
Okay.
And what that all entails, because I'm not in claims, of course. I haven't really ever asked that question, but yes, I believe there is a death benefit.
And that would be more of a claims question, really, when it comes to that specific of an issue. So, okay, everyone loves work comp audits. So it seems like lately we're having more and more issues with people completing audits on time or just in general. So what is a work comp audit and what is involved in it?
So the work comp audit verifies the payroll that's been made to the employees of the company. It's important to verify the payroll since it's the unit of exposure. The more payroll, the more premium, and proper verification of the payroll is necessary to ascertain the proper premium of the policy.
So if a company has a work comp policy and they're noticing that their payroll is increasing through their policy term, would you advise that they go ahead and change their payroll exposure so they don't get hit at the end? Or is that something that can even be done?
Yes, we can adjust the payroll midterm. Sometimes, they may only be on a 3-pay with our company or something. And they've already made those 3 installments. And so then they want to add, say, $50,000 to their policy because they've hired a new employee. They will generally be invoiced for that in one bill because they've already paid their
3-pay payment plan.
Yeah. So they would have to be prepared to pay that policy change, but then they would not have the big lump sum due at the end of audit. So when we write a work comp policy, we prefer to write it for what they expect to have in the first year, so they're not running into those issues like that.
Right. And we find that people go in on the low end because they don't know what to expect and they don't have a huge budget for insurance. And then at the end, it's like, oh, it tripled. Well, you're going to get caught with that at the end. So, I mean, it's a dual-edged sword. You either pay at the beginning and throughout the term, or you pay at the very end in a huge lump sum. So,
in our case, when we do audits, they're like at renewal time. So you not only have that big money due because of the audit, but you have the renewal payment coming too.
As well. Yeah. And it can really get sticky for people. Small businesses especially, it can really get. So let's see. You're the underwriter. What kind of steps are involved when you underwrite a policy? What do you look for?
So basically, operations of the business, prior losses, hazards associated with the operations of the business, payroll to employee count ratio, combinability with additional entities that they may own, like they have multiple entities. So, if you said, oh, we got 20,000 in payroll, but we got 5 full-time employees, well, that doesn't make sense. So yeah, we got to look at the whole picture and be able to paint a picture, I should say, of what we're writing.
Gotcha. What challenges do you have as an underwriter when you underwrite a policy?
Mainly just obtaining the necessary documents, information to paint that picture of the risk, and time constraints.
Right. I'm going to put you on the spot. This wasn't one of the questions, but we have lots of, I know, I'm sorry. If you don't want to answer, we're totally good. We have lots of problems with subcontractors, 1099 employees, that people don't understand. If you don't get certificates for these guys, you're going to be charged premium. And I get asked a lot, why, if they're not my employee? Why? I always say it's because you have responsibility to those. If they don't have insurance and they get hurt doing a job that you are paying them to do, it's your responsibility to cover them. Would you say that that's accurate?
Yes, I agree with that 100%. And a lot of times they'll say, oh, I pay them a 1099. They're not in my employee, but we have to determine an employee-employer relationship. So if they pay them a 1099 and they expect them to be there 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, they are their employee because that employee-employer relationship is there. If they use their tools, if they wear company clothing, drive company vehicles, that makes that employee-employer relationship.
Right, absolutely. And a lot of our contractors specifically don't understand that. And just because you don't call them your employee does not mean they are not.
Right.
So we have to get that very clear with some people. So
yes.
I don't want to take up a whole lot of your time. I really appreciate you going over these questions with me. There's lots of confusion in the work comp area, especially. So thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.